As we saw in Part 2, some historians believe that the carving on the granite stone in Westford, Massachusetts is possibly of Sir James Gunn, Knight Templar and military right-hand man of Prince Henry Sinclair of Scotland, believed to be one of the last of the Knights Templar. This is where the story gets interesting. Some historians believe that Prince Henry Sinclair made the voyage to North America in 1398 or perhaps 1399, and that he took Gunn with him. That's almost 100 years before Columbus discovered the New World in 1492. Why would he do it? And how did he do it? It was thought that Sinclair used old Viking maps that showed the route to the mystical Vinland, now thought to be present-day Newfoundland, Canada. All historians today believe that the Vikings made it to North America around 1000 AD. This is fact. According to the legend, Sinclair was made aware of these maps through his marriage. Remember the Norwegian princess? Also, Sinclair had participated in many land and naval battles in and around present-day Norway, and because of his military success, he was made the naval commander, or admiral, of northern Scotland and the Orkney Islands. Also, it is fact that he made many voyages to the known Norse settlements on Iceland and Greenland earlier in his life, so he was known to possess excellent sailing and navigation skills. And due to his title of the Earl of the Orkneys, he supervised the fishing industry in northern Scotland and had many ships at his command. The fishing thing doesn't seem all that important right now, but it could be an extremely important fact, and we'll circle back to that later in the story. So, with navigation and maritime knowledge, a fleet of ships and an army of men, some theorists believe he had the method and means to accomplish a voyage to North America. So why the voyage in the first place? What drove Sinclair to make such a voyage? Remember the Templar treasure story? Some Templar scholars believe that Sinclair was actually secretly moving the Knights Templar treasure, which supposedly contained the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant, to North America in order to hide it from the King of France and the Catholic Pope. By 1398, the Templars were hunted men throughout Europe. After the Friday the 13th decree, many surviving Templars escaped to England and Scotland with all of the treasure, and the French king wanted it. The last known location of the Templar treasure was that it was being moved by a fleet of Templar ships that departed northwestern France for parts unknown. Many Templar scholars believe that those ships were headed for northern Scotland, a very far and out-of-the-way place in those days, and into the hands of Prince Henry Sinclair, Knight Templar, for safekeeping. The theory continues that the French found out about the Scottish location, and before they could send an army to get the treasure, Prince Sinclair decided to move it to a place off of any known map, to North America. And this is what the route may have looked like, sailing from the Orkney Islands to North America. Initially, Sinclair would have traveled from the Orkney Islands to Greenland via Iceland, stopping along the way to resupply at known Norse villages along the way. The maritime route to these Norse settlements in Iceland and Greenland would have been very well known by most Northern European mariners who sailed these waters in the late 1300s. It is believed that the route to these locations would have been very well known to Sinclair and his sailors. They would have stopped and resupplied at the Norse village in Iceland, and then would have pushed on to the Norse villages in what is today Greenland. However, The route after that would be only known to those who would have knowledge of the old Viking maps about the route to what is now Newfoundland and other locations in North America. Modern-day historians have only recently discovered an old Viking settlement in northern Newfoundland, where some recovered artifacts have been identified as Viking in origin and carbon dated to around 1000 AD. Early Europeans in America in 1000 AD, 500 years before Columbus? Could Prince Henry Sinclair have followed a Viking route to North America in 1398? Check out Part 4 and find out. If you've liked what you've been watching, please hit like or subscribe to keep up with new episodes. Thanks for watching.